Hey, this is Aaron, and today I'm with the 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's all new this year. This in particular is the L model with the Overland package on it and 4x4. So lots of differences. From the front here, you can already see plenty of them. The front grille is much more robust, a little more flat, and dare I say it, more Dodge looking. But it's a much different look for this Jeep than it had before, but in a way it's kind of an evolution of what it had before. There's a giant bug right here. Anyway, underneath here will also sound familiar. 5.7 liter HEMI, 357 horsepower. This is a pretty common engine in the Dodge, Jeep, and Ram lineups. It's been around for quite a while, and it's quite the workhorse. So you have that, then you have I believe it's 390 pound-feet of torque, and of course 4x4 system. It's a full 4x4, but it's not like you had before, where back in the day, you know, when you used the 4x4 on one of these, you flipped a switch or moved a lever. Now it's just all about drive modes. Whatever drive mode you choose. So right now, just right here, I'm in sand and mud, because a little bit extra grip. It turns off the traction control and puts a little more effort into just making sure it has traction to the wheels with grip instead, rather than trying to keep the vehicle from swaying. So up here, you know, it's rocky, sandy soil. So I felt like that was a good idea, because that's basically your kind of entry-level 4x4. Then you have like snow mode, which is a different kind of 4x4. It's much more about holding traction and position than it is anything else. And then if you go into 4 low, you go to rock mode. And rock mode is for climbing rocks, doing hardcore things at lower speeds. 4 low, of course, is adding much more torque delivery to each of the wheels through the extra gearing in the transfer case. So that's kind of the front of the vehicle. Let's go around, I'll show you the side view, and we'll talk some more about it. So from here you can see the side of the Grand Cherokee. Again, it's a lot different than it was before, but different is not necessarily bad, right? So I'm sorry about the wind noise. My lapel mic died, and yeah, the wind only picks up when I'm trying to record. So you can see a few things going on here. You can see the difference in body style. You can see it still has that flat hooded Jeep look, but you can see there's a little more sport on the roofline and a little more bulkiness in terms of the way the body works. So less rounded, more flat and straight. So I'll step into the picture so you get an idea of the kind of the scale. This is a 3-row. This in particular has captain's chairs in the back, so it seats 7. 3 in the very back, 2 in the middle, 2 in the front. But you can see what I was talking about with the bodywork. It's much flatter. There is a curve here. It's really gentle and really kind of on the down low. There is a curve here, and then these multiple cuts. So there's a cut here, one here, and one here for that lower lines, to make those lower lines for that running board and stuff. But you can see there is still the Jeep trapezoid, right? But it's been softened. Lots of rounding happening here to soften it. And the wheel clearance, it's a ton of wheel clearance, which might be an indication of capability, but in the end it's not. It's because the wheels, they'll push up into the well, sure, but not that far. And they don't reach quite that far either. This is a Jeep. It is still really off-road capable, but this is accentuating to give it more than it has. I do like a few changes. You can see the Grand Cherokee logo hasn't really changed much. It's a little different font, but not really. But you see they added the U.S. flag to it, which is interesting. Trail rated, of course, because it is the 4x4 model, so that's a Jeep thing. But I really like the lines. I apologize for the color. So had I had a choice, this is not the color I would have chosen. I think out of all the options in the palette, this is the lamest color available for the Grand Cherokee. But, you know, I mean, some people probably do like this workaday silver. I don't know what you call it. It's a snooze fest to me. There are way better colors than this, but regardless, it is a good color for showing off the light play on the panels, which is why you can see this has a slight curve. Even though it looks flat, the light playing off of it shows off the curve just a little bit. And then the belt line is extremely accentuated on this, which creates a light shelf right here, which is, again, part of the style. It goes all the way from front to rear, which is unusual in today. So let's go in the back and we'll check out the cargo area, and then we'll talk about the interior. So back here in the back, more of the same. So it is a little more, you know, Dodge Durango looking. So you have this up here, and then right here, if you can just see it, that's a camera. That little camera is, it has a squirter, which is neat. This little camera is actually for the rear view. So when you flip the rear view mirror, it goes electronic and it shows you this camera view rather than the straight mirror view through, which eliminates the tunnel and anything blocking it, like my kid's afro. So that's pretty cool. And then you can see more of it. You can see the L over there. You can see the Overland over here. This is just a nice kind of gentle curve, but flat. So it's flat right here, curving right here. Again, just a very kind of Dodge Jeep look. It's what they got going on with their crossovers and SUVs. You have a tow spot right there, hitches under here, and then the back. Right now, it is in. We have the third row deployed. So this is the amount of cargo space, which isn't actually that bad, but something really cool is under here. There's a small spot that has a little more storage. You could throw a couple of extra things in there if you wanted to, especially things that are muddy and wet, like if you're wearing water shoes and you get them all crappy. You could drop them into that plastic waterproof tub in there, which will keep it from getting all over the upholstery. So these right here, they fold down, buttons along the side. These fold down, so let me make sure there's nothing up there. Yeah, there is. So I'll have to do that one. So if I run it, you can see it drops the headrest and folds down the seat like that. So it caught on his water bottle. My kid had been sitting back there. But anyway, you can get an idea how that works. I brought all the kids up here. They're out hiking in the wilderness here while I do this. And yeah, so all their junk is in here because kids. Let's go talk about the interior. So on the interior here, Jeep has really stepped it up a notch. This is a much more luxurious interior than the Grand Cherokee had before this. Beautiful wood inlay on this one. Really, really nice. So it's a. I'll show you photos as we go because rather than try to move the camera around and get video, I'll just show you photos as we go. So right here in front of the driver is a really nicely sized and well done virtual instrument cluster. Big LCD screen in there, and you can do all kinds of things with it. On top of that, up on the windscreen, this particular one has a head-up display. My chief complaint there is I'm fairly tall, and I can't quite get it low enough that I don't feel like I'm missing the top edge of it. It won't go any lower. Kind of lame. Huge infotainment. It's the new Uconnect. I will say, though, that this one versus what was in the Chrysler Pacifica minivan that I had, this one is much slower. The response times are a lot longer. It has more of a lag to it. That's really disappointing. I really expect a little more out of it than that. And some of the menus are they don't make a lot of sense. They're weirdly placed. So it's just a little bit clunky. It takes a while to get used to it. On top of that screen are things like the Duke lights and the traction control and so on. And then you have lots of USB plugs, like just USBs for days. You got USB-C, you got USB-A, you got, there's 4 up here. There's I think 4 more in the middle console, if I remember right. No, there's not. There aren't any in the middle. It's in the back. 4 more back there, and just plugs everywhere, which is great. Lots of drink holders as well. So you have 2 right here, 2 in each of the doors, or 1 in each of the doors here. You have 2 more in the back. in the middle row, and then you have 2 more each in the very back, and just a wonderful setup. And then this particular one has the upgraded stereo, so it has the Macintosh stereo, which is phenomenal. I will say it is hard to hear because the vents are small and narrow. When the air conditioning is running really hard, even just on auto mode when it's running really hard, there's a lot of noise interference from that air conditioner. But if the air conditioner is not running, this stereo sounds wonderful. So the AC's issue again is narrow vents. They're too skinny. I think if they were a little bit wider, a little bit taller or something, so that they could move the air with less constriction, they would work better. They wouldn't be so loud. That's probably really my only complaints on the interior. This drives wonderfully well, feels really good. I really like the mirror here where you can flip it back and forth and you can use the electronic mirror. I just use that all the time now driving this because it just works better. Panoramic sunroof, take or leave that. That's up to you. Second row seats are pretty good. They're a little bit low for the legs. I'll just get back there and show you. Right? Yeah, that's what this is for. It's video. So, pardon the camera angle, but I wanted to show you what I was talking about so you can see my sexy legs. Right here, this is the seat, and this is the normal sitting position. It doesn't go up or down. It does recline into. But you see my knees? See how high up they are and how much they're missing? With the exception of my daughters at, 4 foot wwhatever, everybody has their legs going up sitting back here. 5.5 foot, 5'6", I think, for one person that was in here, and 5'8" for my wife that was in here, and same thing. The legs are not like the legs just are not. It's not comfortable. So you have to put your legs forward like this, but then you're up under this seat unless you totally screw over the person in the third row. So a little bit of a concern. Again, this is a crossover, not a minivan, so I don't know how much you can expect, but I would expect at least the second rows to be comfortable. So there you go. That's about all I've got. That's the 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Again, this is the L model with the Overland package in 4x4. It is overall a really good SUV. We didn't talk about price or any of that. I don't have a proper Monroney for this, but I will show you the price sheet that I do have, which I don't think it has an actual price tag on it. It does not. It just has all the options and everything that's in there. So if I can find a Monroney, I'll post it while I'm talking right here. There's a couple of options. I'll run through those. It has the off-road groups, strength steel skid plates, Quadra-Track 2 4-wheel drive, active driving assist, head-up display, night vision with pedestrian and animal detection. I haven't even tried that. Intersection collision assist system, park sense front and rear park assist with stop, 360-degree surround view camera, wireless charging pad, integrated off-road camera, interior rear-facing camera. I didn't know that either. I'll have to look. Uconnect 5 navigation with 10.1-inch, 19-speaker, 950-watt Macintosh audio. So, there you go. I don't have any prices I can give you. I don't know the tow rating offhand either. I can post all of that stuff, so I'll just have to do that in post-production, because even if I did know all that, I suck at memorizing it. So, there you go. What I am good at remembering are things like 370 something horsepower. See, I forgot that too. 5.7 HEMI. It's got a HEMI in it. All right, so that's what I got. I think we're done. This has been Aaron, 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.